Clair Obscure Expedition 33 passes 1 million copies shipped, not including Game Pass players.
Wow.
That's wild. Another story from Jordan Midler at VGC. Thank you, Jordan, for all of your hard work.
Jordan Midler knows how to hold it down when I am running late. When I'm running late, I'm like, all right, VGC, you're up. Let's see what you got, Jordan.
Crushing it. Clair Obscure Expedition 33 has shipped 1 million units, according to developer Sandfall Interactive, and that doesn't include players who've played the game on Game Pass. The developer has announced that the game, the studio's debut title, has shipped 1 million copies, noting that this number includes physical copies. Who tried it? Who tried it? You tried it, you son of a bitch.
Thought it was cute.
Tried physical copies shipped to the store rather than 1 million copies sold directly to customers. The number of players reached by the game is likely far higher thanks to the inclusion of Game Pass on both console and PC. However, Sandfall has yet to release those numbers publicly.
The thing with the banana in the article is that you got to place it by like a proper noun. I think that's the way to, because then like Andy will read it thinking that it's the studio name or some shit.
Right.
I mean, I've gotten people
Banana Sandfall.
Kind of like where I put it here. It's mainly, I know Kevin really tries to get people. I just like to see if y'all are paying attention.
That's fair. I like that. I like that about you, Barrett. You keep us on our toes.
Now, Bless, you obviously were gone for quite some time.
I was
playing
I'll be honest.
Death Stranding 2.
I'll be honest. I was upset I didn't see more of the demand for me. I was on the Reddit. I was looking for articles. I was looking for Reddit posts of people being like, I miss Blessing. Not one. Not one from you guys.
Mike, we need you to get on that.
Not one from you guys.
Go post something.
You know what? Like, I know how John Cena feels about his audience now. Like, I get John Cena turning heel. Because I was looking for one people being like, oh, I wonder what Bless thinks about Clair Obscure. Not one of y'all. All right,
damn,
fuck you guys.
That's tough.
Fuck y'all.
Now, you were gone for a bit, but and everybody missed you. But
thank you, I appreciate it.
I saw you post. Obviously, I'm playing Death Stranding 2 over here. Been pretty busy, but I've played a decent amount of Clair Obscure.
Yep.
And they're cooking over there in France.
Oh my god.
Where are you at with it? How long are you into the game? Have you beaten it?
I've not beaten it. I'm probably about 13, 14 hours into Clair Obscure. And like I've not listened to the review, but I'm sure everything y'all said is stuff that I'll probably echo of like, goddamn, the writing is so on point on this game. The visuals are so cool to look at, right? Like really good art direction. The combat is so fantastic, right? And like it's fun to see people online talk about how they're not turn-based combat people and they're still enjoying the combat of Clair Obscure. I'll challenge you and say that you are a turn-based combat person, and this is just the thing to convert you. The turn-based combat system is fantastic. It's really unique. I love that each character kind of has their own thing going on with like what their combat system is, like what their unique mechanic is, because it keeps things interesting. I don't want to compare and contrast and be like, oh, it does this thing better or worse than like a Persona or something, right? But like I do think there's something to be said about how they make like combat feel so engaging by making me really think about like, all right, I really want to order this character first because I know their ability charging up in this way is going to give benefit to when I come back around. I want this person to inflict burn because if they inflict burn, then this third person is going to be able to take advantage of it in this way. A lot of just like three-dimensional
cool
chess.
puzzle solving.
Puzzle solving within the combat. That's fucking awesome. My one beef with it, and like with like combat and like I would say character customization specifically, is like, goddamn, do they load you up on the Pictos and the Lumina. It's so much, and I don't know if they condense that at all as I go forward, or if it just becomes more and more and more. But like,
just more and more.
And more.
It's a lot. Like it's a whole lot.
We talked about how overwhelming that system is and could have been. I think that despite the way that those screens look sometimes, and how when we first saw that game presented and they showed us that Lumina screen during the developer _direct, and I was like, oh my god, I hope some of those are duplicates. Like, what is going on the screen? This looks like something I'd stay away from my children,
Yeah.
But once you kind of get into the rhythm and start understanding the language a lot more, I think that there will be ways and future updates where they can kind of help mitigate any issues with that and help make things be a little bit easier to understand. And I think that they did a decent enough job as it is with the amount of sorting you can do, but they can definitely push it further. I was telling Roger, maybe the word, the word energizing being like, this is going to give you AP in the game, or the word whatever is like, oh, that's always going to do this in the video game.
Yeah.
But when I see those little words, it just becomes noise. And I was like, what if the main word in the skill was bolded or italicized or something?
Yeah,
you know?
stuff like that could help.
It becomes like a lot of visual noise. Maybe just color code it or something like that.
Yes,
that could help things out a bit.
I could also see them like even cutting some of that stuff in half, like in terms of like the amount of stuff going on here.
I at the end of the day though, I was still super excited about getting a new Picto or Lumina, especially one that was really exciting to.
Yeah.
Oh, how am I going to involve this? Oh, wow!
I love the ones that were risky.
Changes the game.
There's some of them that are it's like, all right, you get this, but also like you're gonna spend way more of this thing. Like you really have to decide of, do I want to do this play style? I think that stuff is cool. The biggest compliment I want to give to the game is something I didn't like in the marketing of it, because I remember seeing the ad posts on like Twitter for the game, and they would have phrasing that would be essentially like, we are innovating JRPGs, or we are redefining JRPGs. And playing this game, I'm like, you didn't need that language. Like, you're honoring JRPGs. Like, you're doing such a good job of looking at the Final Fantasies of the world, looking at the Persona, looking at Nier, looking at these different games and going, what do all these games do great? How do we live up to the legacy of them? And like really make something that honors all these great JRPGs, even though we're a studio in France. And I think they do such a great job. The energy of this game, the vibe of it, the story, the tone, it's all there. Like, I'm getting vibes of all these things that I love. And it does such a great job of being a JRPG that's developed in France.
They're going to put a new quote out there that says, no, you don't get it, Bless. This fucking genre was dead and boring, and we innovated. They're going to double down.
They're like, no, we
It's a crazy back-of-box quote right there. Yeah.
What were you going to say, Bert?
I just wanted to shout out the Lumina that was the gambling one, where it's like 50%, you do half, there's a 50%
200.
chance you do half damage, but a 50% chance you do 200% damage. And I had that equipped with,
Lune? CL?
No, CL, yeah. And that, like, CL would do just, like, crazy. CL was my glass cannon, essentially, and it was awesome.
I when we were kind of leading up to the release of it, and we were all playing it, and I was over the moon with this shit, and I overheard Roger talking to Tim about it, and Roger being like, "Oh yeah," like, you know, Tim being like, "Oh, so you really like it, Andy?" I'm like, "Oh, I fucking love this thing," and Roger was like, "Yeah, keep on playing it. Don't." And then Roger said, "It's good. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good. It's not like the most amazing thing, but it's good. It's a really good game that you should play." And then we get the new, you know, we're getting more and more rumors about, oh shit, Oblivion's dropping tomorrow, and I'm like, man, maybe I'm the only one who feels that this game is as amazing as it is, and like a must-play, easiest recommendation of the year. Fuck, I really hope that this game doesn't just get swallowed up by this massive Oblivion release. I'm scared. And I put out on Twitter, as if I had never played the game before, but I was like, Microsoft, I need you to delay Oblivion by a week, because, you know, we all need to play Clair Obscure. And I'm so happy that despite that massive game getting released, that a lot of other people felt equally to me, because I was like, oh shit, maybe it's just like a 7 or an 8, and I'm just like, it's way overhyped for me, and I
felt the
hyping
exact
it up
same
more.
thing.
This episode is brought to you by Imperial. We have told you all how important it is to developers that you wish list the games you're interested in. So, if this sounds cool to you, make sure you wish list it. I can't tell you how much it helps. Imperial is a complex, feature-rich action RPG where you'll be sent to a planet in a far-off corner of the galaxy to explore an enormous, imposing monolith. As an elite mercenary, you'll join the expedition tasked with unearthing the secrets of the monolith and face off against the deadly automatons within. In Imperial, you'll explore 4 vastly different quadrants of the monolith, accessible only by using mysterious artifacts known as cartograms. Each cartogram affects which enemies, boss fights, and loot will appear when you enter the monolith, so no 2 excursions will be the same. Find even more cartograms to explore by looting defeated enemies, or buy them from other players online at the trading post. You'll need to make sure you have the right gear to take on the harder cartograms. Build your mercenary, choose your gear, master your abilities, and take down everything in your path in Imperial. Face off against enormous, deadly bosses and seek out secret paths to find bigger and better loot. Help the members of the expedition in deep branching quests and aid other players in asynchronous multiplayer. Get ready, mercenaries. The monolith awaits. Imperial's available May 8th on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. Wishlist now. It helps so much. Wishlist Imperial! This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. If you haven't called your mom in a while, here's your reminder to do it. But if you want to go above and beyond, Mother's Day is coming up and I have the perfect gift idea. Aura Frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's ready to go right out of the box. It's a gift so special, they'll use it every day. Me, Kevin, and a ton of people at Kinda Funny are obsessed with our Aura frames. It takes about 2 minutes to set up the frame using the Aura app. Aura frames were named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter and featured in 495 gift guides last year. I counted. Aura has a great deal for Mother's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off plus free shipping on the best-selling Carver matte frame. That's auraframes.com, promo code Kinda Funny. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was talking to Greg on the show, and we were having the conversation about Oblivion coming out the same week, right? And I was kind of like, oh, like, I don't know about this. And like, I mean, I think it's fine, right? Obviously the reviews, this is one of those cases where I think the reviews have done so much for getting this game in front of people's eyes and putting people onto this game, because you see those numbers and you go, wait, really? Like this really cool looking game that, you know, had these really dope ass trailers, it's actually living up. Like people are actually giving it 10s and 9s and all this shit. I think that's gone a long way as far as putting people on. I got one more critique and I have an observation.
Yeah, let's hear it.
And I'm sure you guys talked about this, but like, man, I need a compass or a waypoint.
That has been brought up by a lot of people.
Yeah.
I did not have as much of an issue with it, but Tim was definitely the one who was the most vocal about it. And Janet Garcia also popped into my chat and was like, wish there was local navigation, a little map or something.
Some kind of like
reference.
some way to reorient myself, because I'll go to a checkpoint, come out of the checkpoint and be like, fuck, which way was I going? Because this whole environment looks the same to me. Like, I don't know if I was going this way, and I've backtracked on accident a few times. My observation, the streets were saying that you were playing as Lune when you're running around or floating around the world.
Yeah, what do you got to say about that?
I just thought that was interesting.
Same.
Look, man,
It's really nice to not hear the like running around and shit.
It's not. This isn't a feet thing. All respect to the feet people out there. I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
We don't kink shame,
but I wish you the best. So I don't kink shame.
This is a sex positive.
I absolutely do not kink shame.
But you also, like,
put some socks on your fucking feet. And I openly talked to my chat about how fucking gross her feet must be at the end, because they're
but she's floating.
No, not all. No,
not all the time.
Yeah, she's walking
around those cutscenes. It's gross.
But it is so peaceful and serene to float all over the place with her, as opposed to running around as Venom Snake in Phantom Pain. Think about think about how fast and noisy that shit is. Yeah, that's how it feels like to run around as any of the other characters. It's you have I'm getting tired as I'm sprinting. And
There's just something that, especially when you're in an area that's got like some nice like calming music and you're just kind of gliding around. You're like, fuck yeah, this is a vibe.
It's so peaceful.
It's just so her grippers are so distracting to me though.
They really get up in the screen.
They really. It's like okay, what are we doing over there?
Yeah, they really get up in there.
Like, France, what are we doing? I love how also I'm just referring to the studio as the country of France.
Oh wow,
Save all entertainment.
We have a subreddit post here called "Man, I Really Miss Bless." This is by Snowbike Mike. Says, after seeing him on today's Kind of Funny Games Day with Andy, I just gotta say, man, I really miss Bless and his presence and his insights and just overall him.
Wow.
We missed you, Bless.
Just is overall
and
him.
Just is overall him. Yeah. He typed it real fast. We missed you, Bless, and very happy for you in your future your opportunities exploring the gaming world, but never leave us again.
Wow. It's real.
Thank you so
really
much. Nice message.
Posted
right
4
there.
minutes ago.
And that's also the person that when he's hanging out with you at softball will go, Man, imagine if Nick and Andy
It'd be
are
so
here.
great if Nick and Andy were here.
To kind of continue on the Clair Obscure thing real quick before we move on, we have a tweet from Bucky from Pal World. This is a community manager over from the video game Pal World. And you posted this because Bucky says, Expedition 33 is the latest game to get unwillingly dragged through gaming Twitter as people debate the viability of Game Pass. I feel like I've just a little bit more knowledgeable on the topic than most, so I'll just say yes. It is very worth having your game on Game Pass. I'll speak to it from the POV of an indie, by the way. I have no experience working in the AAA space, so I'm not sure what sort of deals are cooked up there. But we've shipped 2 games on Game Pass, and we're very happy with both. So all I can say is I'm happy with the experience I've had. And, you know, I think that works in certain situations.
Yeah.
Not all, obviously. I think your game also has to kind of hit right at that right moment. And it's really odd to wonder what the right moment is, especially when Oblivion just came out. It's such a sort of special thing where in any other multiverse, maybe the word of mouth does nothing for the game. But I truly do think word of mouth really kind of helped propel this video game into another sort of stratosphere. In addition to, it's insane that there's 100 units shipped or whatever without Game Pass.
Yeah.
Who knows how many players are over there?
Yeah. I mean, I think 1 million copies sold for this like makes this overall. They did the right things here, right? They made a fantastic game. They found a Game Pass deal that is going to get this game in front of people's eyes and get the player base up there, right? And on top of that, they were able to sell 1 million copies as of now. They're going to sell more as they go on in the future. Like, from the outside looking in on this, I think this is a net positive for all involved in putting out this game. And like those Game Pass numbers, the players that are coming in through that are only going to contribute to when you make Expedition 34. I guess that wouldn't work, but like,
No.
I'm only halfway through the game. We'll see. But if you make a sequel to Clair Obscure, right, or when you make your next big game, even, I think there will be the audience that is, oh, I played Sandfall Interactive's last game. I know what they're capable of. I see the trailer. Oh man, I gotta play that now. You have this built-in fan base that's gonna follow you.
From the creators of the 92-93 score, Metacritic, highest of the year, highest of all time.
Dude,
who knows where it's
Game
going.
Awards medley. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
hopefully
my
we're
God.
gonna get that. So far we got 2 games locking in on Game Awards. We got Blueprints and we got Clair Obscure.
But the thing is, what music are they going to play for Blueprints? That's where I'm at.
Ooh.
Is it going to be
I mean,
when you
there's some
start a
music
new
in
run?
There's some good ones, yeah.
But like, no themes that you go, that's the single.
This is what
because it is such a weird game to experience
Yeah.
that like,
This is what I want you to do. I want you to cook up a theme for Blueprints and then send it to the developers to patch into the main menu.
I'm a Blueprints.
Call me Blue.
Which one wins
my
Indie
building
Game of the
power
Year and
will
which
make you
one wins
wince.
Game of the Year?
Wait, say that again, sorry?
Which one wins Indie Game of the Year and which one wins Game of the Year?
I think Expedition 33 isn't going to get its flowers as an indie game, even though I think technically it is.
It is very much an indie game.
But
is
I
it
think
not?
people are going to look at it and be like, "Oh, it's a AAA."
It looks too pretty.
It looks too pretty. It looks too expensive.
They got.
I know it's not.
We
I
gotta
know-
break
Charlie
those
Cox.
barriers.
They got
We gotta
Charlie
break
Cox
that
up in
shit
there.
down and break those barriers down.
They got
because just
fucking-
because a game uses Unreal Engine 5 doesn't mean that it's fucking.
No, I agree with you.
They got Caesar
Stupid.
from Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't think people are going to make that connection. I think people are in the same way that people don't look at Baldur's Gate 3 as an indie game, right? Like, I think people are going to look at it and be like, "Oh, that's expensive."
I still think it pops up though in the, maybe to the general public, but the
Yeah.
people who are largely voting in the Game Awards, which is us and other, gaming outlets, I do think
And
it'll
also,
pop up
Clair
there.
Obscure is going to get its flowers, I think, in RPG of the year. Unless I'm missing anything.
No,
Was there any other big RPG that like?
I mean,
Oh,
Let me look.
Oblivion remake.
Yeah, I
it.
heard
Well,
about that.
old game is old. Like that's
I will say another observation I have.
Avowed, Outer Worlds 2.
Andy
Worlds 2.
Serkis, little underwhelming in this.
Who does he play? Have I met him yet?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
But the thing is, like, he's
Let me look him
still
up.
Andy Serkis. Don't get me wrong. But I still wonder, could you all save money if you got like just
Someone else.
another awesome actor with that great? Now, the
Ah.
press is certainly less, right? Because it is really awesome to see Andy Serkis in these posters and in these little social clips and things
it
like
was
that.
Oh,
on
that's
the
who
Friends
he
Per
is.
Second
Wait.
podcast as
Yeah.
well.
I love his character.
I just his
I
character's
think he's
cool.
awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's
Yeah.
like I don't even think he's the best in the game. You know,
Yeah.
I guess yeah.
And thinking of like Andy Serkis and like his kind of range in performance. I just feel like he wasn't utilized enough as Andy Serkis, you know?
Even as the dude in the Marvel movies, I kind of like that dude more. You know what I mean? You remember that guy?
Wait, from like Black
Come on,
Panther?
Eddie.
Yeah, that guy's
don't
cool,
mean
man.
that.
No, the guy with like he had like a metal arm. or
Cool
something,
hair.
right?
Maybe it's just the hair. Maybe I'm just jealous of the hairline.
Kingdom Come 2 is what a lot of people are saying as well for RPG.
Oh, yeah, that'll probably win,
that'll
actually.
probably win.
That'll
but like
likely
Expedition 33 is going to give it a run for its money.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that game is massive. Bless.
Massive, huge.